Unknown 9, Kamala Harris, the game. Think about it. She's perfect, she's independent, she's a strong woman that don't need no man, and she's fighting the evil whites. Isn't that a perfect fit?
I thought I was done talking about Unknown 9 Awakening and how this latest piece of garbage coming out of Namco Bandai's Reflector Studios and Sweet Baby Inc. and Kim Bair, the CEO, being the story architect of this world, and supposedly she's this consultant that everyone puts their trust and faith in, that won't lead them astray.
Everyone who puts their trust and faith in her gets absolutely decimated. And I think it's fitting.
But YouTuber Private Prime recently posted a video exposing just how out of touch this really is and how the culturally sensitive narratives that Sweet Baby Inc. is supposedly known for is anything but that. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT, and everyone's favorite game to pile on, Unknown 9 Awakening, seems to be in the news once again for all the wrong reasons.
And that's exactly what we want to hear, because being in the news for all the wrong reasons, let's be completely real. At least it's a little bit entertaining.
Situation right here completely exposes Sweet Baby Inc. for the fraudulent organization it is. They literally put the word con in consultancy.
Most consultancies are con. It is what it is.
Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full exhaustive article going over how Sweet Baby Inc. is anything but culturally sensitive. And the latest game, Unknown 9 Awakening, walking through the town and...
Well, to be completely fair, and yes, I'm gonna defend Sweet Baby Inc., our most beloved company of the generation, they're not exactly trying to be culturally sensitive. They're just trying to do some wiki-wacky shit and see if it sticks, and that's kind of it.
And listening to the NPCs discuss and chatter, you would think it's just regular chatter, that nothing really to look twice upon, and most people would think nothing of it, and many people didn't think twice. But the whole point of Sweet Baby Inc. is to make sure that these are the types of things that they get right. But instead, it does the exact opposite. I first heard of this situation while I was watching a stream of New Blackstreet covering the story, so shout out to Atreus and Kata for bringing this to my attention.
A clear idea why this is probably one of the most laziest games came out this year. This scene is set in Bengal region of India, back in 1912. To make the area sound crowded like a bustling market, the devs added random conversation from the internet. How do I know? Well, these NPCs talking in Bangladeshi Bengali language, which is very similar to my mother tongue, which is Indian Bengali language. I added...
Sad. Also, this does not seem to represent India in the slightest. Where are all the street stalls selling you food that is considered a biological weapon? Huh? Where's anyone relieving themselves on the street? There are designated streets for this. This is the worst representation of the India that I love and know to the utmost offensive level possible. This is crazy. This is not even close to the India that I love.
Added subtitle. Now enjoy.
Coffee. They don't even drink coffee.
Bandai Namco Entertainment contracted Sweet Baby Inc. for Unknown 9 Awakening. I assumed that they expected a nuanced and respectful portrayal of the Bengal region in 1912, but instead, players were given a lazy, tacked on...
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's probably no way to do that. Okay?
Attempt that's offensive in its sheer lack of effort. The region feels like a ridiculous caricature rather than any kind of real, authentic cultural representation. Which, by the way, quick interjection here, that's literally the entire point of Sweet Baby Inc. To be culturally respective and diverse and making sure that if you're not familiar with what's going on in an area or a situation...
You know what's my favorite part about India in general? 20 years ago, India was this mystical foreign land of culture and religion and the unknown. And now, and what do you think now?
or a language, that you are in charge of hiring a professional externally.
Also, they're gonna be a super power by 2023 or 2022. I don't remember the date, but yeah, good luck with that.
Bringing them in and
Also, they're pretty much the only place in the world that still operates based on the caste system, which technically has been abolished for more than 50 years, I think. But it's not like the Indians give a fuck.
consulting with you to make sure you get it right. And this situation right here shows they did absolutely none of that.
Okay, do you think if these were black people, it would be coffee, 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 and then they would probably say like watermelon juice instead? Do you think Sweet Baby Inc. would do that? I think they would do that. I think definitely they would do that. Chili chicken.
Notice anything interesting there? Yeah,
No.
they're just random phrases jumbled together to make it seem like a bustling street, when in reality,
They're the most obnoxious phrases, by the way, that you could actually add here. That's pretty insane. They couldn't even just make them say, how much this, how much that, how much this, have a good day, or anything like that. No. It's spicy chicken and coffee rice. Beautiful.
they did no work to figure out what was actually being said there. They just, what it feels like, ripped these phrases off of Google Translate and shoved them into the game, and it made absolutely no sense. Unknown 9 Awakening has proven that Sweet Baby Inc. co-CEOs Kim Bair and David Bedard are far more focused on the
Well, we know that Kim Bair is a grifter. She doesn't care about any of this. She just wants to make money by abusing the weak. And I honestly respect that to a degree.
idea of diversity than its actual substance, wielding the promise of cultural respect as a cheap facade to sell their expertise professionally. And to this day, many companies keep falling for it. Grums on Twitter had previously said, okay, it turns out Kim, the other co-founder of SBI, is the story architect for Reflector's Unknown 9. It's confirmed by Cabrutus. I hope Japanese companies stop funding SBI games. The publisher is Bandai Namco, and they will lose money from the poor story work. Grums later quote-tweeted himself saying, Unknown 9 releases Friday, but bans you if you even talk about SBI involvement. But Kim Bair, CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., is the story architect of the game. In the Bandai Namco livestream of the gameplay yesterday, the developer was asked to give a background of the
By the way, Kim Bair is black, so there's just a chance she's racist against Indian people in general, which kind of makes it triple the hilarity.
main character. All he could say was, she is very smart and strong. That's the problem with woke characters. They have no interesting dynamics and just reduced to two-dimensional cutouts to check boxes.
To be fair, if you are someone who represents woke in this type of culture, what we refer to as a 2D boring character, for them is the equivalent of a masterpiece, because they cannot think in the higher dimensions. There is nothing beyond these very simple and primitive concepts that they want to be represented to them. So, for them, this is, unironically, a masterpiece.
This is what tokenism is. The entire town is filled with inaccurate, laughable NPC dialogue showing complete disregard for any kind of nuances to the region. Kim Bair is credited in the game as the story architect, and she oversaw these narrative choices. Yet the product here shows zero understanding or respect for any of the culture that they were supposedly setting out to portray. Outside of extorting money from companies that don't know any better, what the hell is the point of Sweet Baby Inc. if they can't even get this?
Well, it's primarily just to extort money. That's the point. Okay? I can bet you that Kim Bair literally never actually thought that anyone's gonna check what the kind of woke garbage they actually implement in games. Okay? She never probably thought that that's gonna happen. Well, to be fair, neither did I.
this right. Sweet Baby Inc. always takes the stance that they are the gatekeepers of cultural sensitivity and that their consultancy services ensures respectful narration in their games. But in the
Also, I'm willing to place bets that Kim Belair lived half her life like she was white and then just decided, wait a minute, there's potential in something else.
Bengal region of Unknown 9 Awakening, they completely missed the mark. Analyzing the dialogue choices for NPCs shows everyone just how poorly researched and shallow the execution here truly is. The developers filled the bustling streets of Bengal Market with random contextless phrases that were clearly ripped randomly off the internet. None of it makes any sense at all. Now you could say, oh, there's games like Grand Theft Auto.
Well, to be fair, India's space program also doesn't make a lot of sense, but here we are.
Where you walk the streets and you bump into people and they say random things out of context too. It's like, okay, yeah, I get it. But that's not being a game being made by some sort of consultancy agency that cares and respects for the diversity of nature of another region. And I'd almost argue that Grand Theft Auto actually is pretty accurate in portraying the regions that they're located in. According to Private Prime, one instance that highlights this absurdity is a conversation where NPCs in 1912 Bengal are shown speaking Bangladeshi Bengali, a dialect geographically, culturally, and historically different from the region and time setting that the game takes place in.
Hey, not the first time. Remember Assassin's Creed Shadows? It had bigger issues than that.
What is the point of Sweet Baby Inc. if you can't get that right? It's an extremely lazy shortcut that demonstrates just how little SBI actually cares about the cultures.
This is, by the way, pretty much the reason why they are actually as successful as just milking companies for money. Because the reality is, they go to a game, they add crap like this, and it's not like the people who hired them can actually verify if anything of this is sound or reasonable. They're just like, yeah, sure, okay. The NPC says coffee, 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 fried chicken 2 times in a row. Good enough, whatever. Maybe that's how they speak. I'm sure as hell not gonna check on that. And there you go. Man, Vogue is the perfect grift if you find a way to actually sell it.
That they're dealing with, treating it as a convenient checkbox rather than an integral part of the story. And I'm sure there's going to be people that hear me say all this and say, oh, Smash, yeah, I don't like SBI as much as the next guy, but this is really a minor thing. Is it really worth going all in on them for this minor NPC dialogue in the town? And I say, yes, because this is what they do. This is why companies hire them. And they've gone on record saying that if they don't know something, they will go hire someone that is professional in the local region and come over and talk to them to make sure they get it right, which is exactly what did not happen here. One NPC, for instance, casually mentions fry rice, as it adds the air of authenticity to the setting. Other characters are heard rambling about coffee over and over again, in a way that's both contextually completely out of place and nonsensical, making it painfully obvious that the dialogue was crammed in for show without any understanding of the region's culinary habits or dialogue styles at the time that it's supposed to take place. This is actually
completely don't care, honestly. I just don't.
A wildly important detail that a lot of people are just glossing over. It's genuinely not the biggest deal to me. Like, honestly, I take a step back and be like, honestly, I don't care because I don't understand the language, whatever. But the whole point of Sweet Baby Inc. is to get this stuff right. And they didn't even do that, proving to everyone that there is literally zero need for them. No one cares.
To be fair, even if they did get it right, who cares anyway? Who cares? That's the real takeaway here. Imagine Sweet Baby Inc. actually comes in, does everything good, everything's fine, everyone's happy. Still, who cares? Who asked? No one. No one cares. No one wants this. No one's gonna say thank you. No one's gonna notice it. It is ridiculous.
Belair and Bedard had truly cared about the Bengal setting and its people, they would have done their research, ensuring that the characters sounded authentic.
Bro, Kimberlit is literally built like a cellulite factory. That's kind of insane, though.
Not a series of Google translated phrases strung together in ambient noise to make it sound like a crowded marketplace. Sweet Baby Ink's approach treats cultural authenticity as a marketing ploy rather than an essential component of storytelling. They want to make you think that they're doing all the right things, and they say all the right words to you in their marketing speeches, but in reality, when rubber hits the road, it's anything but that. This isn't about celebrating diversity or respecting cultures. This is cultural exploitation, plain and simple. By touting themselves as the arbiters of social acceptability and the people who are the truth bearers, Sweet Baby Inc. strong arms developers into buying their services while delivering subpar, misleading narratives that only harm the very cultural respect they claim to uphold.
Pretty base, not gonna lie. Huge win, maybe. Who honestly knows at this rate? Anyway, that was Smash JT. Kimberlit is an absolute, well, respectable for, just kind of grifting her way to becoming probably a millionaire at this point. Hilarious. And everyone else gets to pay the price for this. Anyway, bye-bye.